Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a pleasant weekend. I hope you went through all the concepts what we discussed on Friday. Now, whenever we are giving you a break for 2 or 3 days, please take it very seriously to revise all the topics whatever we have done, children. Because until and unless you go through the topics and understand what is there in the textbook, it is very difficult for you to understand the forthcoming topics, because all the forthcoming topics are based on whatever we are completing the previous days. So definitely you should have a follow up of whatever has been discussed in the class. Okay, so hope you have done that work in the last 2 days. Okay, so with this we are moving on to the next topic of current electricity. Again we are entering into a new topic. Today we are going to learn internal resistance of a cell. Okay, so we are going, that is the main topic. But before we go on to that, let us understand what is a cell. Okay, now basically we know that electric current, whenever we talk about electric current is nothing but the flow of charged particles. So that is how we define electric current as. Okay, now whenever charges are flowing in a circuit, we say that current is there in the circuit. So current is nothing but the flow of charges. The flow of charges in a circuit is nothing but you call it as current. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about what is a cell. A cell is a device that maintains a potential difference which exists between the two electrodes due to a chemical reaction. Now look at this diagram. Here is a cell. Okay, now this cell is made up of two electrodes. One is a positive electrode and the other one is a negative electrode, and there exists a potential difference between these two electrodes. Okay, and there is an electrolyte, there is a solution which is called as an electrolyte. Now there is always a chemical reaction that is taking place between the electrodes and the electrolyte. Okay, so there is a potential difference that is maintained between these two electrodes, that is due to the chemical reaction that is taking place inside it. Okay, now whenever we talk about a collection of two or more cells like this, you call it as a battery. Okay ma, collection of two or more cells is called a battery. Okay, so cells are connected in two ways. Either it can be connected serially or in parallel. Okay, so what is the work of a cell? It converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Okay, now how the energy is stored in the battery? The energy is stored in the form of chemical energy inside the battery. Okay ma, now as I told you, battery, it consists of two terminals. One is a positive electrode and a negative electrode, and these electrodes are dipped in an electrolyte in a solution. You call the solution as electrolyte. Okay, now whenever we talk about the output voltage of a battery, now the output voltage of a battery depends on what? It depends on the electrodes as well as the electrolyte. Okay ma, now whenever we talk about cells, there are two types of cells, children. Okay, two types of cells are there. One is a primary cell, the other one is a secondary cell. Okay, now primary cells are not rechargeable. Once you use it, it has to be, after the energy is lost, you cannot no more use the battery. That is a primary cell. Okay, Now primary cells are the cells that you use in your wall clocks, torches. Okay, so these cells are called as primary cells, and secondary cells are rechargeable. For example, the batteries that are used in bikes and cars, car batteries, they are all rechargeable. The chemical process is reversible there, whereas in primary cell it is not reversible. Once the energy is exhausted, you have to throw it back, you have to throw it, that you cannot use it. Whereas in secondary cells, the chemical process can be it can be reversible, and you can charge it again and again. In secondary cells, you have the process of charging and discharging. So these are the two types of cells, and the cells are connected to a circuit in two ways, as I said you, series and parallel, that we are going to learn. Okay, when cells are connected in series, what will be the effective energy, that is what we are going to do in the next topic. So we will talk much more in detail about it in the next topic. Okay, is it clear, children? Now I am entering into the very important topic as far as a cell is concerned. Okay, which is nothing but you call it as EMF. EMF, EMF is nothing but electromotive force. I'm going to talk about this very clearly because you need to understand this better. EMF and potential difference, right? Now this EMF is the potential difference developed. Now this EMF is nothing but the PD is potential difference, children. Potential difference developed between the two terminals. So what are the two terminals here? The electrodes. One is positive electrode and the other one is negative electrode. So EMF is the potential difference developed between the two terminals of a battery when in an open circuit. What is this open circuit, children? Open circuit means when you are not connecting the battery to an external resistance. Okay, so in the absence of an external circuit, when it is not connected, now there is a potential difference that is existing between the two terminals of a battery due to the chemical reaction that is taking place between the electrodes and the electrolyte. Now one electrode is said to be at a positive potential. Now let us take this electrode A. Now this P is always at a positive potential and N is at a negative potential, and there will be a potential difference. Yes or no? That's what I said. So what is the potential difference that is existing between the terminals of a battery in an open circuit? Okay, in the absence of an external connection also there is existing an electromotive force that is called as EMF. Okay, that is a potential difference that is existing between the two terminals of a battery is nothing but you call it as EMF, electromotive force. Okay ma, in an open circuit, right? So the positive electrode in a cell in an open circuit, the positive electrode has a positive potential. It has got a positive potential which is represented as V plus. Similarly, the negative electrode has a negative potential. It is given as V minus. Okay ma, right? Now what is the EMF? EMF is denoted by this letter. EMF is equal to V plus minus V minus, which is equal to V plus V minus. Now this is the EMF that is existing in the cell. Okay, in an open circuit, and this EMF is measured in volt. Okay, ma, EMF, potential difference, all are measured in volt. So what is the EMF that is existing? Now the EMF that is existing between the terminals of a battery, or the potential difference that is existing between the terminals of a battery in an open circuit is given as V plus plus V minus. It is represented by this letter E. Okay, so this is called as EMF. So the EMF, and let us come to the topic called internal resistance. Now, what is the meaning of this word, children? Internal resistance. Internal means which is inside. Now, here we talk about the chemical reaction that is existing between the electrodes and the electrolyte in a battery, right? Okay. So, resistance, already we know that it is nothing but it resists, that is, it is a property of a material to resist the flow of charges that is flowing through it. Now here, now this internal resistance is the resistance which is present inside the battery. Now inside the battery, that resists the current flow when connected to a circuit. Now so far we were discussing about an open circuit, right? Okay, open circuit, we were talking about positive electrode, we were talking about negative electrode, and what is the EMF in an open circuit also we found out. Now let us consider this connect this battery to an external resistor R. Look at this diagram, I have connected here to an external resistor. There will be a current flow when it is connected, yes or no? Whenever you connect a battery to an external resistor like a torch or a clock, whatever it is, you have current flow in the circuit. So when the current is flowing, now there is an there is a resistance which is in, now the current will be flowing through the battery also. Now here look at the direction of current, it starts from here, it goes all the way, comes inside. Now here there is a current flow inside, that is from N to P. So in that case, something should be there inside the electrolyte to resist the flow of current. So that resistance which is existing inside the battery, okay, which opposes the current flowing inside the battery, is called as internal resistance. Now this internal resistance is represented by small r, children. Okay, I repeat again the sentence. It is the resistance present inside the battery that resists the current flow when the battery is connected to an external circuit. Okay, so again this resistance, it causes a voltage drop when there is a current flow in the battery. And this resistance, which is providing this resistance, now this resistance is provided by the electrodes and the electrolyte. Again, this electrodes and electrolyte will oppose the current that is flowing inside the cell. Is it clear, children? Is it clear? Now let us move on to the diagram. Okay, I want you to explain the diagram. Now let us consider the electromotive force. We need to understand the importance of this electromotive force and internal resistance, right? So let us consider a resistor R. Now this resistor R is connected across the cell. Hope you understand the diagram. Then there is a current flow across R from C to D. Okay, and the current flows from N to P through the electrolyte. Now outside it is from C to D. C to D, the direction of current is like this, but whereas inside, that is inside the battery, the current flow is from N to P, children. It is from N terminal to P terminal. Okay, which is just opposite to the flow of current outside. Outside it is from C to D, but inside it is from N to P. Okay, yes or no? The same current is flowing, right? Now I am going to find out what will be the what is the EMF? What is the EMF in the open circuit, right? Now let us consider the circuit is open. Open in the sense where you are not connecting any resistance. In that case, what will be the EMF? So EMF is nothing but, I said you, it is the potential difference between the terminals P and N, which is called as EMF. So V is equal to, okay, so V is the potential difference between P and N, which is nothing but you call it as E. So what is this potential difference? I am dividing it into three parts. Now there is a potential difference that is existing between the electrode and the point A of the electrolyte, and there is a potential difference between the point A and B in the electrolyte, and there is a potential difference between the point B and the electrode, which is N. So all the sum of this is nothing but you call it as EMF, right? So potential difference, so V is equal to, I will write in short children, PD. So PD between P and A is nothing but, that is equal to, plus PD between A and B and PD between B and N. If you refer your textbook, this is clearly given in page number 110. I will read that, children. The electrolyte through which a current flows has a finite resistance R, called the internal resistance. I've already defined you what is internal resistance. The resistance that is inside the cell, which resists the flow of current inside the cell, you call it as internal resistance. Okay. Now consider first the situation when R is infinite. R is infinite in the sense, in the formula, I is equal to V by R. This is Ohm's law formula. When R is infinite means when R is becoming infinity, current will be what? Zero. So consider the case when the resistance is infinity and where the current is zero. In that case, we will not bother about this current at all. Here the current is zero. In that case, what will be the potential difference between the ends P and N? That is given as potential difference between P and A plus potential difference between A and B plus potential difference between B and N. This is nothing but you call it as EMF. So this is electromotive force when the resistance is considered to be infinite. Okay, exactly whatever voltage is produced due to the chemical reaction, that becomes the EMF in an open circuit, or when the resistance is considered to be infinite. Exactly. Okay, now I am going to consider the R is said to be finite. So it means that R has got some value. In that case, will there be a current flow in the circuit? Definitely. Definitely there will be a current flow. So now what will be the potential difference between P and N? Between P and N, it is given as V plus V minus I into R. Now I is the current flowing inside and R is the internal resistance. Now this is equal to, I know what is the value of V plus and V minus, which is electromotive force minus I into R, which is the potential difference between P and N. Okay, is it clear? Usually we talk about the internal resistance of a cell to be very small, because the current, now here what happens to the potential, now whenever there is a resistor connected outside, definitely there will be a current flowing. Now the potential difference, when in an open circuit, we call the force as electromotive force. We call the potential difference as electromotive force in an open circuit. In a closed circuit, you will call it as potential difference. That is, potential difference of a battery is in an open circuit, we will say, suppose let us consider it is 5 volt in an open circuit. But when you connect it to an external resistor, now there will be a current flow. So what happens now? The potential difference will be reducing. Now the EMF which was there 5 volt in an open circuit. Now the potential difference in a closed circuit will become lesser because the current is flowing inside the resistor. So the potential difference value will be lesser. So potential difference in a closed circuit will be lesser than the EMF in an open circuit. Both are voltages only, but in open circuit you call it as EMF. In a closed circuit you call it as potential difference. So potential difference will be always lesser than EMF. Okay children, is it clear? So this is about the internal resistance of the cell. It is a resistance that is existing inside a cell that opposes the current flow in a circuit. Okay, now we will now internal resistance is considered to be having a very negligible value, so we will not, in almost all the circuits we will not bother about this internal resistance. Okay, now in according to Ohm's law, we know the formula of Ohm's law as V is equal to I into R. So let us compare these two equations. Now let us consider this as equation 1, this as equation 2. When you compare these two, I will have IR equal to electromotive force minus IR, or also I can have the formula for current to be I is equal to R by R. So this is also the formula for current. Now these formulas are used for solving numericals. Now when the current is said to be maximum, we can have maximum value of current when R is equal to 0. When R takes the value of 0, that is in an open circuit, current will be maximum. I maximum will be equal to electromotive force by small r. Okay, so this is also the formula. Okay, we'll be solving some numericals based on this. Hope you are clear about the internal resistance. I want you to go through the topic today in the textbook. Okay, ma? Now with this, let us move on to solve some simple problems. Now these are your textbook problems. The first problem, exercise first problem. The storage battery of a car has an EMF of 12 volt. So EMF is 12 volt. Okay, if an internal resistance of the battery is 0.4 ohm, what is the internal resistance? 0.4 ohm. What is the maximum current? Maximum current in the sense, what will be the value of resistance? Resistance will be 0. So I maximum will be, just now we discussed this formula, E by R, so which is 12 by resistance is 0.4, which is equal to 30 ampere. Very simple sum. Clear? So maximum current in the sense you have to calculate resistance, consider resistance to be 0. Clear? Yes? Next sum. A battery of EMF 10 volt and internal resistance 3 ohm is connected to a resistor. If the current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere, what is the resistance of the resistor? What is the terminal voltage of the battery when the circuit is closed? So let us write the data first. EMF is given as 10 volt. Internal resistance is 3 ohm. If the current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere, so I is 0.5 ampere. What is the resistance of the resistor? And also, what is the terminal voltage of the battery when the circuit is closed? So first let us find out resistor. The formula is I is equal to, this is the formula children, and I wanted to take the resistance, for find the value of resistance. So rearrange the formula. So when I rearrange, R is equal to EMF by I minus R. So this is equal to, what is EMF? 10. 10 by 0.5 minus 3. Okay ma? So this will have the value of resistance to be 17 ohm. Okay, so resistance I have found out. Now I have to find out what is the terminal voltage. So terminal voltage is V is equal to I into R. So what is the value of current? Current value, if the current in the circuit is 0.5 into the resistance we have found out now, which is 17. So 17 into 0.5, we have the terminal voltage to be 8.5 volt. Okay ma? So this is the terminal voltage, right? So these are the two problems based on the topic what we read. I'm going to do one more problem which is based on the previous topic, children, temperature coefficient of resistance. Okay, so first let us read the problem, try to understand. A heating element using nichrome connected to a 230 volt. So V is, it's a bit lengthy, some children, 230 volt supply draws an initial current of 3.2 ampere. So initial current, let me take it as I1, which is equal to 3.2 ampere, which settles after a few seconds to a steady current. So let us take the value of steady current to be I2, which is 2.8 ampere. Okay. Now what is the steady temperature of the heating element? If the room temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. So room temperature, in the sense, let us take the value of temperature to be T1, which is equal to 27 degrees Celsius. And they have given the value of alpha to be 1.70 into 10 power minus 4 degree per Celsius. Okay, so steady temperature T2 we should find out, but before that we should find out T2 minus T1, then from that we have to find out what is T2. Okay ma? So let us start with the simplification of it. Let us find out resistance at room temperature. Okay, resistance at room temperature is given as R1. Okay ma? R1 is equal to V by I1. Okay ma? So 230 divided by 3.2. So make it as 32. Then numerator becomes 2300. So when you simplify, you will have the value to be R1 value to be 71.875 ohm. Okay, so this is value of R1. Then again you have to find out resistance at steady temperature. Steady temperature is R2, which is equal to V by I2, children. Again V is 230, I2 is 2.8, make it as 28. Again take the 0 to the numerator. So R2 will be 82.143 ohm. Okay. Now what is temperature coefficient formula? Alpha equal to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 into T2 minus T1. So T2 minus T1, you take it outside. Then you will have R2 minus R1 into R1 into alpha. Okay. Now when I simplify this, R2 is 82.143 minus R1 is 71.875 divided by, again R1 is 71.875 into this alpha value is 1.70. Now this 10 power minus 4, when I take it up, it becomes 10 power 4. Okay, so simplification process, you have to do it. Your answer will be 840.35 degree Celsius, which is the difference in temperature. Okay, now I need to find out what? T2. So T2 minus T1 is 840.35 degrees Celsius. Now my T1 value is 27 degrees Celsius. So from that I can find out the value of T2, which is 840.35 plus T1. So when I substitute 840.35 plus 27, You have T2 value to be 867.35 degree Celsius. So this is the value of T2. Okay, hope you understood. The simplification process, you have to be very careful. You have to do the simplification part of it manually or taking log. Okay, clear children? Yes. So the topic we discussed today is internal resistance. Now go through the textbook and the topic, what is internal resistance, I want you to write once in your notebook, solve these problems and send me as a homework. Okay, see you tomorrow children.